Hello, my name is Joe and I'm going to be talking about production in film and understanding video technology split into 5 sections. Sound, effects, music. I'm going to mainly discuss production in film. A film is a story or an event recorded by a camera as a series of movement images and shown in a cinema or on TV. A full-length feature film is a film that lasts 40 minutes or more. Anything less is considered a short film. Finance. Once you have completed a script for your film, you must find a way to fund your film. There are many ways to fund your film. I'm going to be stating 3 ways of funding your film. 1, you can pitch your idea to a film studio, and if they like it, they will invest in your film. However, this is an unlikely. But 2, government funding can help you through their BFI fund. Now simply apply for funding and wait for a positive decision. Now, 3, arguably the most popular way of funding is crowdfunding. Kickstarter is a crowdfunding website where creators post their project ideas, and if people like it, backers pledge in their own money to support and make this creation happen. If you are fortunate enough, you can fund your own film project through your own wallet. Time. Managing time and scheduling where you are going to film is important in the pre-production stage. Every day must be planned down to the finest detail to make sure that the production runs smoothly, on time and on budget. Shooting goes in the order of convenience, and so the first scene and the last scene are in the same location. You must film the 2 scenes there and then, so this helps save time and money importantly. Where scheduling, the availability of on-set crew must be considered, so documents such as call sheets must be made on a daily track. Personnel. Main roles in a film crew consist of a producer in charge of mainly everything in the production process, handles the finance and manages the production from the start to the finish. Without the producer, film simply does not made. A director responsibility for the overseeing is the shooting and assembling for the film. Screenwriter provides the dialogue for the actors and is responsible for scheduling each scene so the film logically makes sense. A production designer who has the role to translate the script into visual form through the creation of storyboards. An art director responsible for the film settings, choosing the location of shooting, constructing the streets. Now, using and acquiring the props that is needed. A costume designer to convey the time and the period of the film, personally of the characters of occupation. Now, cinematographer, the director of photography or DP, handles the camera and oversees the lighting needed. An editor. After shooting begins, it's the editor's role to organize the footage and arrange them in a sequence to show the story. And last but not least, the actor, obviously the portray characters. Facilities. Before you start shooting, you need equipment and must consider facilities available to you. Film studios let you hire sets, stage and equipment, such as cameras, lenses and sound equipment. Materials. When referring to materials, it means acquiring things needed, for example, like props or costumes, handling by the producer and costume designer repetitively. Locations. Deciding on the right location can make or break a film. The right setting emerges the audience and makes them feel like they are in the reality the film is in. Now, it is the location scout's job to achieve this, choosing locations around the world with the budget in mind. Codes of practice and regulations. When producing a film, you must cautiously of the codes and regulations set by the film board. Copyright is the most common way of halting the film process. You must make sure to get the permission by the creator of copyright content. How video works. In this section I'll be discussing different television stand video onto TV dating back to the 1950s. Explaining analog TV, it encodes an image and sound information and transmits them as an analog signal, which then transmits to a broadcast signal consisting of different frequencies. Satellite television starts with the transmitting antenna located in an uplink facility. The uplink antenna signals are transmitted to a specific frequency range to where transponders are set to receive that information. The transponder retransmits that signal back down to Earth, which then provides you with a wide range of channels and services. Cable TV is a system for distribution of audiovisual content for television. Many companies use this. The use of different frequencies allows many channels to be transmitted throughout one cable, where a tuner for the TV selects the desired channel from all transmitted channels. Internet broadcast is a transmission of programs through the internet. In a simplified form, internet broadcast is nothing more than just provision of audio and video over the internet with a computer to help the transmission of different programs. Digital recording. In this section, I'm going to briefly explain the following principles: color temperature, white balance, gain, shutter speed, exposure, focus, basic shot types, and lighting. Temperature refers to a characterization of spectral properties of a light source. Measured in Kelvin, low warmer temperatures are yellow to reddish lights, while high cold color temperatures are blue colors. The wrong color temperature can make the image look unnatural. White balance is the process of removing unrealistic color cast, so that when the objects appear white in person, they are rendered white in video. Take in mind that proper white balance in a camera has to take in account the color temperatures of light source. Next up is shutter speed. Shutter speed stands for the length of the time the camera shutter is open to expose light to the camera sensor. If the shutter speed is fast, it can help freeze action completely. If the shutter speed is slow, it can create an effect called motion blur, where moving objects appear blurred along the direction of motion. Exposure and gain. Adjusting exposure and gain is key to getting that professional look on your video. Carefully changing the exposure manually helps you if you are filming in different locations. Exposure can be set manually on the camera by adjusting the f-stop on the lens. Basically, what you are doing is increasing or decreasing the amount of light falling to the camera sensor by opening or closing the camera's iris. In real low light conditions, you can use the camera gain control. This is a way of increasing the camera's sensitivity to light. However, if used too aggressively, it can make your image look grainy. Now focus. A video that is completely sharp is said to be in focus. A video or image that is completely blurry is labeled as unfocused. When talking about focus, we need to understand depth of field, which basically relates to how the shot is focused. A deep depth of field is a shot where everything is in focus from the foreground to the background. A shallow depth of field only has a small proportion of the shot in focus. When using a camera, you wish to focus on something, just simply point at that object and use the focus ring on the lens of the camera and twist it until the image looks sharp. To control depth of field on a video camera, you need to change your physical position to the focal length of the lens. Here are some examples of shot types.
You're listening to Ritual. You're listening to Ritual. You're listening to Ritual.
Here I'm going to show you the basic principle of three-point lighting. Three-point lighting consists of, you guessed, 3 light sources. This is your main, strongest light. Light, which should be less powerful than the key, is used to fill the shadows created by the key light slightly. And lastly, the backlight, set up behind and above the subject. This is used to add a highlight to the back of the subject and help separate them from the background. Here, they're applied to the subject.
You're listening to Ritual.
Digital editing. File managing is key to when editing a video. Arranging all your footage into folders and naming them makes it a lot easier when you're in the editing process, as you can quickly recognize what footage you want. Sound and picture synchronization. For the video, I have used 2 cameras recording simultaneously, the one at the front and the one at the side. To synchronize both angles, I used clapperboard at the start of the recording. You can also clap with the hand, and I use the audio waves within the editing program to synchronize that audio and paste it together. Transitions. Transitions within a video can help process a narrative or help to break the continuous between shots. However, using too many transitions makes for an unpleasant viewing experience. Exporting. There are many different formats in which you can export your video, and also many different resolutions, frames, rates, bits rates, and so on. But here's how I am going to export this particular video. First, in Premiere Pro, I'm going to go to File, then click Export, then click on Media, which brings up the export setting video. There could be a lot of things you could change in here, but I'm going to click on the Format QuickTime drop down and choose H.264. I'm going to leave the preset on March Source High Bitrate. I'm going to change the output name by clicking on the blue text and renaming it, changing the location save, and then hitting the export button. Then sit back and wait for you to render the finish. Now, to end this video, here is a short film I created that using all the techniques I have mentioned.